welcome back to Timberborn and our IRONTEETH Let's Play. That's the one. It's been a little while. I have done a bit since you guys were last here as well, and I did that a little while ago. So we have expanded ever so slightly the, I guess, I want to call it a water switch, water filter over here, so that we can build one over this side as well, so that we can have our water storage bridging over this whole thing, because I think it will look cool, and you agreed. I've put in a bot charging system here, so the outflow from this spins this large water wheel, which generates power, goes into the flywheel, which gives us some resilience if we get a drought, and we've got some bot charging stations. It's not a huge storage, but it's a bit. Over here I've cleared out a bunch of the dead trees, and we are getting to the point where we can clear out this little bit of land here. We probably want to clear these out as well, and then we can build our water filter as well on this side. So that's going to be the plan for today. But we also have a bad tide approaching, but all of our builders are bots, so I think we will be okay. We actually have even more spare bots, so we could get even more builders going. I wonder if I've also joined this up across here so that they can get to the supplies we've got stashed here. I was going to put a stash here, but it's so close that I don't think it matters massively. And obviously we've got charging this side as well. So, but I think the first job will be to get this cleared out. We'll get these cleared as well. And then we'll design the, we have got water sources in here. We're not going to be able to hoover up everything. That's just not going to be possible. There's so much in here. That yeah, just not going to be possible to get absolutely everything. But I do think that we could make use of more of the spare bots. We've got a bit of land here that we could probably just throw in. I'm not usually a big fan of bots as haulers, but we've got so many that I think it might make sense. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, come on, 2, 3, 4. Can we get one there as well? Yep. We have expanded our bot capacity, so I should probably change it so that everything new we build goes to be bots. But you know, I'm really bad at that kind of thing, so we'll just manually swap them over, and that should use up a whole load of our spare bots. And then we're going to prioritize this, because I'm not sure what they're working on otherwise. And that's used up all of our spare bots. Let's just knock that down a notch on priority. You can go and you can go. We need to put a path here so they can actually get to it, and then that'll probably bring us a swarm of builder bots coming over to rip everything out. And once that's gone, we can probably get some more. Yeah, so let's do that one. Also going to take that out just because why not. by the same logic, why don't we fill those in? Boom. And we'll do that. Let's demolish that. There we go. And we might need some paths to get across there, to get to that jobby. And there we go. Kind of want to get to that just because it's annoying. So we're going to do that as well while we're here. And then what we need to do is let's put this on. Let's grab ourselves an levy. So we are a level higher here, but I don't think we want to demolish it down because I think that will get messy. What we'll try and do is just get it to, well, we'll ultimately have to get it to the same height. So but we want to come in from about here. And we want to end up about over here. So just gonna pause those for a sec because we'll work out actually where we want to put it later on. Come on, game. Do your thing. There we go. We don't necessarily need that there now. Now, I did say we were going to use the resources over there, but because we've got another big-ish building project, I do think that it kind of makes sense to actually stockpile. We probably want the same logs, planks, and metal over here. Planks and metal beams, and we'll have you be obtained, prioritized by haulers. Come on, come on. Get her done. There we go. It will make it quicker. So blow you up, and then just going to get rid of all of that. Get rid of that. I can probably pick that up as we go, actually. There's our bad tide. Yeah, this now shoots straight out the bottom. Right. If we want to make this look as symmetrical as we can, so we're one. Let's come over here and let's just delete all of that as well. So it's not going to be perfectly symmetrical because these entrances and exits are different, and I'm not that OCD. At least not about this video game. So pause for a moment. So it's 10. Perfect. So 3. So we might not actually get to be symmetrical because the first water block is there. 2. No, we're not going to be completely symmetrical, but we want to start there. And that means we want to come over here. Now, what we could do to somewhat improve the symmetry is take that out, and then at least the entrance and exits could align. So let's do that. I like that idea. So blast that out. And then if I grab that tool and pause for a second, sluice gate. And if I do that, turn it off. That, and that align. And they're actually on the same level as well. So we then come in here and cut all of that out as well. And maybe if we come back here, cut some more of that out. How long was this again? 1, 2, we can just measure it on the top, can't we? 9, okay. We go back 8. We've started in a slightly different place, but let's at least make them the same size. 9, and I shouldn't need to check the width because doing this checks the width. So yeah, so that should be the same size. If I'm just going to delete that one so we can get in. And then what I think we'll do actually to give us room to work for the filtering, we'll blast all of that out. I'm going to cut that out as well. And I'm going to cut that out. Just because it will then help, I think, with the symmetry of how it's going to look. Because then we'll put that there, and you'll see the... obviously, it's not completely symmetrical, and this one's closed in at the front, so maybe it doesn't matter, actually. But we could also open the front of this one up if we want to. So, you know, I'm going to do it anyway. Do it, you coward. No, I want those to be open. Open, says me. So we're going to have those like that. Just because I kind of like how that looks. We need to put a pipe in for the filtration, for the irrigation. And we need to do the filtration. So the irrigation pipe, I think we'll put in the back corner down here. The filtration, I think maybe we need to come along here first. This is going to be a bit of a faff with where the water sources are. Let me remind myself what I did here. So we need to direct Right. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a faff. I might make this one a dummy. I'm curious. Just going to test something, folks. Put that there. I'm curious if two sluices is enough. It looks like it is. That one's closed and those two are open. Because I might make this one a dummy so it looks visually right from the outside. But that way we can have the water come this way a bit and then start filtering it. And it looks like that's working fine. So let's turn this off. I've got a 50-day bad side. So I think what we can do is come down here and very much doing this again as always out prior planning. And remember, prior planning prevents poor performance. And then we're going to have... We might end up with unnecessary amounts of sluices here, but bear with me, okay? I'm actually just going to pause for a second. You go that way. And then we separate there. But you don't actually need to be there in theory. Or you don't need to be there. But I'm going to put there anyway. Just for completeness. So then this becomes the clean water. So... yeah, so that's that. Let's make sure that's turned off. Make sure that's turned off. So you close above 2%. You close below 2%. Close below 2%. So yeah, essentially one of these sets is unnecessary, but we could delete this wall, but I don't want to. I think this is better having this chamber being quite small. The clean water goes into here. We'll have our irrigation pipe here. So this is where the clean water comes into. We then need to platform over this. And impermeable floor over that. And then levy that. And what height is this one at? That's at height 14. That's height. That makes no sense. That says 15. That says 15. That says 16. Don't believe what that's telling me, to be honest. So that goes up 4 from that level. So I think that needs one more set on it. And we take out those. And we bridge across there. And I think they're the same height. I might go higher ultimately, but for now... that's a much better design than that one, to be honest. Assuming it works. Oh, Buddy's got himself stuck. He should get set free at some point soon. Yeah, that seems a much better design than the other one. Maybe it's just because I'm more in the groove now. We'll see. We'll see. I think we might need to put some ladders on the inside to free this guy. At the end there. The advantage of not building these too high is that we can build the water storage tank bigger. So maybe I don't go too much higher. We'll see. We'll see how high we can go. Yeah, you're free. And obviously once we've got all of this stuff built, the bad water will stop going in here. Because it'll be filtered through this way. And this will start to dry out and we can then put in our irrigation tunnel. But we did this much more efficiently. Which is good. Efficiency is good. We like efficiency. Assuming it works, obviously. I think we're there. I think we're there with this one. Obviously, maybe not obviously. I say that far too much. And once we're going up and into the water tank, we won't want this to be open. What I might do is put sluices in there so that while I'm building it, we can spill out, but then they can be closed more permanently. So we need to put in our irrigation tunnel. I mean, the really nice thing now is because we have tunneling, we could do that afterwards. Except for the fact that we need to have a way to get water down into it like we have with this one. So we have this system. So we do actually need to, I guess, create this. So water will go up in this side and then be able to go down in this side. But that's that. Cool. So, right. Let's pause for a moment. And how high can we go? How high can we go? That it? Yeah, I think that's it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more. No. Are we in relation to getting over the we need to go up at least one more to get over the water wheel, because I would like to keep those there. But those look quite dumpy at the moment. So I think maybe we go another 4. And then that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think that works. I think that works. So let's delete that. Let's delete the path and the bridge. We've got 50 days nearly. I think we can get a lot of this built in that time. So you can go. Those can go. One, 2, 3, 4. And we need ladders up the outside so we can build it, and we are going to high prioritize those so that hopefully no one gets stuck, and they should be able to build everything off of that. And then we're going to delete you. We're going to put those in there. We're going to put all of that back. We're going to delete you. We're going to put one. Missed a bit path. 2, 3, 4. And then let's just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So I'm pretty sure those are at the same height. So we don't want to build that, which they have. So we need to give this side more ladders. We need to prioritize that to try and minimize the amount of stuckness that we get. It's a technical term, by the way, technical engineering term. Understand, those of you that may not be aware of such things, I've got many stuck beavers over here. The stuckness is high. Annoying. They actually got themselves stuck because of the ladders we've built as well. Or if they have. I think they might because of the way they've stopped doing stuff. So if I delete, that free them up? Yeah. I think I'm going to have to delete that one as well. On you Muppets. Come on, get yourselves free. Oh, I hate this sometimes. I'm sure I've got Unstuckify running, but maybe I haven't. Come on. Come on, get yourselves all unstuck. You stupid beavers. You get everything picked up over there. I'm going to have to do exactly the same here. Let me tidy up all of that. Right, what we're going to do, we're going to put that in, then we're going to put some ladders in, and then we're going to carry on. And it's like a bloody carry-on film. If you're from countries other than the UK, I don't know. If you're from a country other than the UK, do you did the carry-on films make it over to where you are? I'm curious. And not the modern ones, the old proper ones with like Sid James and co. The actually funny ones. Not the awful modern, at least one that they made. Right, I think that's the correct height. Going to need check again now. So 1, 2, 4. Did I go too high? Oh, yeah, I've gone too high, I think. From that one, no, levy 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the height it was at. They match, so we were going to go up 4. Yeah, I think that's the correct height. The height is going to be now anyway. I have decided. So now, I think if I go like that, they hopefully don't have any choice but to build it properly. These guys are busy cleaning up. And we're going to let them, because otherwise they're going to get stuck, I guess. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And I really don't want to risk getting more stuck beavers, because that was way more complicated than it needed to be. And yes, I know I could use bridges and scaffolding and stuff to build it even quicker, but we don't need to. Because now we can also start building this one. And then they'll build this one a bit quicker. So, and then we'll have builders building all of them. We've already got 51. No, we've got no spare bots. So, with the idea being that once we've got them both set up, they'll probably be spamming building both quite quickly, hopefully, like this. And by building this bit first, it should hopefully, and I do mean hopefully, stop them all getting stuck and being stupid. Because they've got to go out from the corners now. That probably doesn't need to exist, he says confidently. Yeah, because it's just ladders. Says confidently, not confident. So we need to get all of that built, which I'm hoping won't take long with how many builders we have got. And we've got a decent supply of logs, which is good. We've got logs being brought over, which is also good. And they've got access to both of them, also good. So that should be cool. We should get this done relatively speedily. And the slightly tricky bit, and it's not really tricky, is the tank is essentially going to be freestanding. Because unlike with dirt, we can't overhang off it, so we're going to have to use the overhangs. And there comes the question, well, how long is our gap we have to suspend. So I guess let's measure, shall we? Good idea. So 5, 8. Keep count, folks. 16. 26. So half of 26 is 13. Our longest is 6. So to make 13, what do we want to use? Good question. Well asked. So we probably want to use a relatively long span in the middle. If we used a 5, that would leave us with 8. So we could go like 5, 5, and then something shorter. Going to do it backwards. I'm just going to pause the game for a second. Obviously these won't quite match up because they're not on the same level. Unless I put this one on a platform. Slightly short there. Feels like it might be all 5s. All the 5s, 55. All the 5s, 55. Now it doesn't meet in the middle. How much is that going to trigger some of you because we're not symmetrical? But actually once it's done you really won't notice, I don't think. All the 5s, 55. And then if we're like all the way back here, I think that'll work. So let's start putting that in and check that it works with what we've got here. Before down from there. And go doubles there. I think that's right. But they're so keen to build everything that we're just going to pause it for a sec. So all the 5s, 55. And then we backfill so we get a level platform. And we see that we want to be one higher. Why we check, folks? Okay, 5, 5, 5, and then 4, 4, 4, and we could, nay, maybe should, not fill these in so we can make it a little bit bigger. Ponder that for a moment. ponder that for a moment. I end up setting up the whole build for this. And then let her rip. Yep. 5, 5. So what I'm pondering is if we did that and that and that and that, and then came along here and along here, I guess, and along here and along here and along here and here. Impermeable floors through here, and I know we don't need to do it over the levees, but and through here. And then through there. Yeah. Yeah, I think that looks better like that. And then we can delete yo and yo and yo. And yo. Should we delete all of that internal wall? Because that's just clean water, isn't it? Yeah. I think we can delete all of that. Let me go over here. And we'll leave that because they're actually using it to build off of, so, you know. We can do similar in there. And in the same way that we haven't filled up this internal cavity. Yeah, that's the difference between this one and that one. I built an unnecessary wall. I'm just wondering how many forests are doing. This is what highlights when you've not got trees marked to be cut. When you're doing projects like this. So then what we need is it to be facing the right way, to have ladders down into here, and I guess a ladder down into there. so they can put the floor in. And I guess probably something like that. Probably something along there. That should work. Now, beaver's stuck underneath. That out for now. That's while they're building stuff. Let's rip that out. And that out. And that out. And if we really need to, we could put ladders that side so they can get across there quicker. I'm assuming that they've finished going under here now. Fairly battered our log supply. Now, there are some dead forests left that we could raid. Not many of them. Not many of them. The plan is to try and regenerate some of these, obviously. That's got a half decent amount of trees in it, actually. So let's throw in. We've got cut dead trees active, so if we do that, that should start them clearing some of that out. We've got quite a big dead forest over here that's realistically not that far from our project. If we got a little bit creative here. Can't tube way over that, but we can. There. You can just delete that path for now. I think actually we just spit ourselves out there. And throw in a few lumberjacks. Path. We're going to need to get beavers doing that job, but I think that's fine. And we'll just try and get them keeping up with the log usage that we've got going on. So I think I've got I've got Timprove running, and I think I've got it set so it doesn't go dark, which is something that I used, as you've just seen me do what I think is going to be the thumbnail. I turned it on occasionally to do thumbnails to get better lighting. I'm curious what you think as to whether you prefer it not going dark or going dark. Obviously, when we're playing with bots, it doesn't really matter at this point, but let me know what you think. Water is holding steady. We're almost through the reservoir after 10 days of bad tide. Food is holding steady as well. We should go check on the Sky City. Where we have a bunch of bots standing about doing now. Which is interesting, but I feel like it should be the beavers standing about doing nothing. But they've got water, they've got food, so that's good. This is keeping this topped up, which is cool. This is working well. Well, we've got some trees not marked for cutting there. Yep. So the fact that this is probably going to stay full or fuller, we might be able to plant some trees up here now in the fullness of time. So we are too far from a district, apparently. Okay. So is that not connected to a path? There we go. That should get that moving again. Just make sure that that's all connected up. So have we got... Yeah, we have got quite a lot of spare organic beavers. So I think what we'll do is plan on bending down here into here. That's quite a big old dead forest. And once we've cleared the dead lumber, assuming we do something about the irrigation, we could maybe revive it. You know? Put a ladder there and there. And some pathage. Branded. Okay. Yes, we need to get that built, and we'll get that built before we build that. And get to those. And we can put that in. Awesome. They're getting there, folks. They're getting there. Yeah, that's a huge, huge dead forest. So, and that is supplied by normal water sources, I think. So we might be able to try and do something to help that out, apart from the really long droughts, I guess. But maybe we can irrigate it from the water tower and just try and divert during bad tides. We're getting there. We're getting there. Let's see. That needs to be impermeable floored. This can be deleted. Then those can be moved over. I think they're now at least a place that can be reached. Yep. We're doing good. We're doing good. We are making progress, and we can also, if we really want, mirror the charging setup down here. Although once this is done, it's only going to work during a bad tide. So you still have a few trees you can get. Just because I hate them, those are going to be got as well. You are done. You are done. We come down here. You probably need more ladders, and we might as well move you. Put you there. As you work your way up the mountain. There's so many trees we can clear once they get down here. Let's say it's too far. Yeah, why does it say it's too far? Ah, because I'm a dummy. No. That one. There we go. That would help, wouldn't it? Yeah, it really would. So that guy's going to be busy for a little bit. They will now start building that, which will then let these guys get down here, which will be good. We've still got to work on this. We could maybe do that. But while we've got wood, we should focus on this. And we've got 36 days, so what we next need to do is begin the process of raising everything up. There's a song in that. But we'll let them get the base in first. And then essentially we need to raise the whole structure up to its maximum height. Now there's a question around that, which is probably good because we're coming to a natural endpoint in the video. And I don't know if we've got enough height to do this, but I was kind of considering putting monuments on the top. Now I think the problem is, because I thought it would look cool, I think the problem is potentially that, let's have a look. By the time we've gone up a bit, and we could go up 3. Actually, let's do it. Okay, I can go up that high. So we can't go that high. Delete. DOS. We could go there. We can't get that on at that height. We could always drop that one inside the tank a little bit because the base is kind of excessive. Tank doesn't have to be a uniform height. So my question to you guys, because I need to end the video here, is do I maximize the size of the water tank? Do I build it so that it's a uniform size so that we can put monuments on it? Or do I build it in such a way that we do clever things so we can put monuments on it? Because this one clearly has restrictions around its height. But the other ones do not quite so much. But I have to end the video here, so let me know your thoughts, and we will continue this project next time. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel, and yeah, we will be back next time.